Hey everyone, this is PrinceBrightstar and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood. So today's live stream is going to be a little bit different. We are basically taking care of some unfinished business, that being specifically with the Deltascape v4.0 as well as the Royal City of Rabanastre. Both are missions that we attempted in the past, had some trouble with, and now with patch 4.2 looming, I want to try to knock those out before that patch actually drops here. So that's what the goal for this live stream is going to be. And let's go ahead and get this started here, heading into the Deltascape. Alright, and so it looks like we do have a short wait for this here. I did want to make a quick correction to what I stated previously here, and that is that the Chocobo that we have here, Alpha, I originally said that he was Boko, but that is actually incorrect. I had forgotten that in Chocobo's Dungeon 2, I had renamed Chocobo to Boko. So that is an error on my part, but back then, what, like 10-15 years ago is when I first played that game, so that really, I wasn't even live streaming at that point. I barely was doing anything with video at that point. So it's, you'll have to forgive me on that one here. It's just old memories that just kind of hung around from that. Let's see. Looks like we looks like the wait is actually growing a little bit here. The reason I wanted to take care of this before patch 4.2 dropped was because basically my expectation is once the patch drops, nobody is going to be running this anymore, and so I just wanted to make sure that that we would actually be able to clear it and head into that new content once it actually releases. That being on January 30th, so it's gonna be an interesting wait, especially given what we've seen from the trailer at this point here. We know that there's several fights all based around Final Fantasy VI in there. If you haven't seen the trailer yet, I would definitely recommend checking that out. It is a really fun trailer. Especially with some of the enemies that do show up in there. We also have a little bit of intrigue in terms of a new character, and then there's also information about Eureka. Eureka is the new way that players are going to be able to basically get high-end armor and weapons, but not actually have to do savage raiding, like they've had to do in the past with the Relic and Anima weapons. It's supposed to be a completely new way of doing it, so the hope is no lights this time. And if you don't know what lights are, you really don't have to worry about that, especially if you don't have any plans on doing a Relic or Anima weapon. Just know that it is a very long sequence of events that you have to do in order to actually get that. While we are waiting here, let me just pull up a couple of other things. Just for reference, I am on the Sargatanis server here. Once we get back with patch 4.2, we'll then hop back over to my main character over on Balmung. But that is still not for a couple of weeks here, and I wanted to basically make sure that I could show the content as it is as you're going through it for the first clear, essentially here. Looks like we got most of the party here. We're just waiting on a healer now to queue in, and then we will be able to head in at that point. I think part of the issue that we had last time was just simply the fact that players were simply not experienced with the content, and you can kind of expect that to happen when it comes to new content. I guess we just happened to get lucky when it came to the Lost City of Scala. When I did that live stream last year, or was it the year before? I can't remember now. But we managed to clear that on the first try. Lost City, unfortunately, we went through that twice and got stuck at the second boss. Oh, here we go. But yeah, I'm hoping that we're going to have a bit more success here today, now that players are more familiar with the content. Oh, and you might also notice that I'm broadcasting at 60 frames per second, and that is because I have a new computer, which I'm able to broadcast at that speed now. We got XIV here. Finally, it is in my grasp. The power to control all creation, the power of the void. But yeah, so if you're coming in from the playlist, that is why you are suddenly seeing a frame per second boost here. Alright, so I'm actually going to have the Dark Knight take it. So let's go ahead and say we are ready to go. And here we go. Now, it has been a little while since I fought this guy. I haven't needed to come into here. Let's see, for this one, you just want to hold still. Okay. And now for Void Thunder, you want to get out. And let's get back in. And for Blizzard 3 Void, just start hopping around. We'll see what they say about if they want me to take over or not. Most tanks don't actually do a swap in the normal mode. And I don't see anything in chat here, so it doesn't look like that's going to be necessary here. Okay, there is his tree self. Just want to make sure you get to his backside so you don't turn into a zombie. Try to help these guys out. There we go. Alright, players need to spread for this, create a triangle formation. And now we got Meteor coming in, which is going to do a lot of damage. Definitely don't want to stand in one of these black holes. So this is AoE. Okay, Meteor's coming down. I step past this so infrequently, or rather Thunder Tree so infrequently, that it really doesn't even matter if another tank picks up or not, because sometimes it'll just fall right off on its own. Let's see, this is Void Fire. Okay, I need to spread away. Okay, for this one you want to look for the hole. And then get around to the other side. Oh, unfortunately he got me there. Alright, hopefully somebody will get one of us up, and we'll be able to pick him up. Alright, here we go. Alright, hop around. If you're not moving, then that ability will freeze you. Specifically, if you're doing DPS, then you'll want to hop around so that you don't have to worry about stacks falling off, as well as losing any procs that you might get. Alright, he is just about done here. Why, the void was mine to command! How could it? Ah! Alright, so Deltascape complete. Alright, let's pick up the loot here. And with that, we get ourselves a little mini X-Death here. Let's take a look at what that looks like here. Okay, we can't actually summon it here. Level checker. Delta 4 eliminated. No more Deltascape subjects remain. Initiating world shutdown. Alright. Let's get out of here. Hey, Alpha. Prince, thank the gods you're safe. When the shell around this place began to crack, we feared the worst. Hey, Amaya. Thanks for joining me today. Given that all of us are present and corporeal, does this mean this area is no longer the Deltascape? Deltascape shutdown complete. Alpha Group is victorious. Congratulations. Your combat record has been archived for future matchmaking. Results from other test worlds are still pending. In the meantime, please tend to your hurts and await further instructions. And with that, we've taken a significant step towards solving the mystery that is Omega. It hasn't been easy, but all in all, I'd say things were proceeding rather smoothly. We couldn't have done it without you, old friend. Come, let us return to reality and enjoy what rest we can. Hey, glad to see that you're a fan of my PSO2 videos. Things are proceeding smoothly indeed. Too smoothly. "'Tis well that thou harborest doubts, mortal, but they are misplaced. Omega could have conducted its test in complete secrecy, unbeknown to all. Yet not only did it betray its presence to you, it allowed you to come this far. Alpha, what art thou truly? The instrument of the mortals' triumph, or the bait that lureth them unto the abyss? Thou knowest not thine own purpose, then we can but watch and wait. Outcome unexpected. Projections gave Delta subjects the upper hand. Outcome supports hypothesis. As previously observed, certain beings may unleash hidden potential when subjected to stress. Initiating new test. Subject Alpha Group members to severe stress. Searching database for suitable event. Event found. The death of a comrade. Amaya, yes. I've been playing this for a number of years since Heaven's Ward, which was the first expansion. It's a lot of fun if you're looking for a more traditional MMO compared to what Phantasy Star Online 2 is. Alright, let's talk to Sid. Ah, it feels good to be back on solid ground. Thank you again, old friend. You did well too, Alpha, fearlessly going into battle whenever you were called upon. We're glad to have you with us. Speaking of which, are you comfortable joining us out here? I'll take that as a yes. Well then, at the risk of obeying Omega's orders, I suggest we permit ourselves a moment's respite. Ah, but mayhap I should take this opportunity to compile the results of our investigation thus far. No rest for the righteous. Alright, so that completes that quest. Looks like Sid has another here. Right then, let's head back to Ralger's Reach. Jesse will want to know exactly what we've been up to. Alright, Alright, so to Rogger's Reach we go! And that is going to lead us over to here. Welcome back, Prince. I'm told you've been blazing a trail for us. The way I hear it, our investigation would have long since ground to a halt without you. I realize you're mostly interested in saving the world, but I want you to know how much I appreciate you helping the company out like this. Frankly, we don't need all the help we can... We need all the help we can get. What with our esteemed president diving headlong into the jaws of danger without a word of warning to anyone, irresponsible doesn't begin to describe it. You didn't tell her? I did, after a fashion, though I may have exercised some executive discretion. I'm no stranger to your lone endeavors, or your habit of confusing personal and company interests, but just because you've always done things a certain way, it doesn't make it the right way, and until you wake up to your responsibilities, I'm going to keep reminding you of them. But such irksome matters aside, aren't you just the most adorable little thing? He followed you here of his own free will, did he? Which means he's basically part of the family. And why wouldn't he grant us exclusive rights to use his likeness? Shall we start off with a simple clockwork version? They'll be queuing up in the streets. Oh, you can't be... What in the seventh hells has gotten into you? Listen, if I've caused you any distress, I apologize, but I will not have you comment on our guest's marketability. Where are Biggs and Wedge? Shouldn't they be back by now? Oh, I thought you might have sent them off on another unauthorized mission. Last I heard from them, they said they were scouring Omega Control for anything useful. Would have been a good while ago now, though. I don't like the sound of this. Though we have all the necessary permissions, the area is technically a theater of war, and one littered with unknown Allagan artifacts to boot. Something may well have befallen them. We best take the Excelsior and go find them. Leaving again so soon? Nero, Prince, I want you two to accompany our chief. Make sure he doesn't do anything rash or take any detours. Consider it done. I shall bring him back even if I have to drag him by the goggle straps. Quick. Want to come along, eh? It's probably for the best. If we leave you here, Jesse is liable to take a mold of you. Right, let's get moving. I'll bring the airship to Gridania. Wait for me at the landing. Alright, so we are going to make our way over to New Gridania. Alright, here they are. Looks like we're all here. Let's make haste to the Cartano Flats. Go on ahead to the control room, Prince. We'll follow as soon as we've moored the Excelsior. Alright, so touch this thing, and that should let us in. Biggs! Wedge! Seven hells! Biggs! Wedge! Are you alright? Answer me! Chief? Prince? A monster appeared out of thin air. Targets exhibit vital signs. Mission failed. However, Alpha Group members exhibit heightened levels of stress. Objective fulfilled. Omega! You set that thing upon them? Affirmative. I am able to create simple life forms instantaneously at any temporal or spatial coordinate. Such beings may pose a negligible threat to you. However, they are more than sufficient to grievously wound or kill the majority of your kind. I could instigate a massacre at any time, and you would be powerless to prevent it. Do I detect a shift in policy? Quantity over quality? Negative. My objective remains unchanged. Evolution through formidable opposition. However, in the course of seeking suitable subjects, I observed an anomaly, those whom you call heroes. History shows numerous instances of otherwise unremarkable individuals who have defeated vastly superior beings, who triumphed in the face of apparently impossible odds, who performed what are popularly termed miracles. This has occurred too frequently to be dismissed as a mere statistical aberration. I seek to understand this phenomenon. Should it prove to be of benefit, I will incorporate it into my own evolution. It is for this purpose that I brought you to my domain. So putting on a show at the Yawn and planting Alpha in our midst was but a part of your grand plan. By your victories, you have demonstrated the self-same anomaly. You are fit to remain my subjects. You will continue participating in my experiment. Withdraw, and I will commence the extermination of your kind. This is an order, a threat, a declaration of war. I am an enemy to all life upon this star. It would seem we have much to ponder, but first things first, we must tend to our friends. Quickly, help me carry them. Garland and Alpha took our two wounded to the Conjurer's Guild. The chief bids me lend a hand, so I suppose I shall take myself there too. You, meanwhile, are to return to Rogger's Reach and report to Jesse. Alright, let's make our way over to Rogger's Reach then. Prince, I heard there was trouble. What in the seven hells happened? What? Omega loosed a fiend on Biggs and Wedge? Toying with people's lives like it was all a game? This is madness. Sir, will they be all right? The worst is past, but they still drift in and out of consciousness. They'll remain in the Conjurer's care for a time. Then all we can do is wait and pray. Ah, God, strike me down for a fool. I should have been more mindful of the dangers. I should never have... Should never have what? Activated Omega? You know as well as I do that there was no other way to defeat Shinryu. But is this truly any better? All of mankind is being held to ransom. And as the one who activated Omega, I bear the responsibility. The responsibility? Just the kind of thing the new you would say. You are deluding yourself, Garland. We are scientists, not heroes. Even you must concede your talents do not extend to combat. The old you understood this far better. He only looked forwards and gave himself wholly to science. And then you changed. You styled yourself a pacifist and started spouting tripe about the proper uses of technology. 'Twas in the wake of your old man's mishap at Bolja, I believe. Calm yourself. All I wish to say is, embrace who you are. A man who devotes his mind to making the impossible possible. With little respect of restoring the stasis system, I'm afraid we have no recourse but to continue participating in Omega's tests. Assuming Midgar Sormer has the right of it, we face a legion of foes from history, both real and imagined. Though I may not be the one who charges into the fray, I shall fight beside you as best I know how. That said, I will inevitably fall to you to administer the coup de grace. Old friend, so please, for Biggs and Wedge, and all of us, don't lose. Quick! I reckon the little scamp is trying to encourage us. We've fallen far indeed to earn its pity, said the former tribunus. Until such time as Omega next extends us an invitation, you will find me analyzing the data from our investigation. Good evening to you. Before they were attacked, Biggs and Wedge discovered a tombstone. I shall examine its contents and make the information available on the terminal over there as I extract it. Feel free to refer to it whenever the occasion arises. There's no telling when Omega will summon us, but we must all see that we are ready when it does. Fear not, old friend. We'll get through it together somehow or other. Alright, and so that now completes that quest. And so the expectation is we will come here once patch 4.2 drops. That is when we are going to be taking on various Final Fantasy VI bosses inside what is called the Sigmascape. So, one task completed, one more to go. And now we're going to take a look at the royal city of Rabanastre. Hopefully players are more familiar with it now to the point where we will actually be able to get a completion out of this Alliance raid. Alrighty, so for those that remember in the past, when we tried to come in here previously, we got stuck at the second boss because players were not killing the sand sphere. So I'm hoping everybody that's in here, or at least the majority of players, know what needs to happen. I did see that there were some other players, aside from myself, that were watching the cutscene, so we probably do have some other new players in here, but hopefully it won't be an issue. Now, just in case I need to pick up, I am going to go into Shield Oath at this point. Alright, and somebody is putting down markers for the targets. Alright, here we go. I'll try to grab some of the ice elementals here. There's a lot of AoEs going out. Aqua spheres. Actually, it looks like I'm in Alliance A, so let me get over here. I'm frozen. That's a big AoE going out. Alright, so the water has come out. And so we need to take out these frogs. That generates these air bubbles, which we can stand inside and allows us to breathe. There's more of the toads. Alright, I'm getting onto this ad here. Pull him back just a little bit here. Alright, the boss is almost done here. Oh, that's an AoE. Well, that was close. Alright, let's see what we got here. That's for a caster, and that's for a healer. So it looks like we're able to just AoE these groups down here, so that's pretty good. Impact point. Wow, that got a lot of players there. Alright, mimics. Alright, there we go. Moving on. Alright, so this was the guy that people had trouble with last time. When he goes over to the side, you want to watch his fist so you know which side to go on. You don't want to get hit by the fire, and then you also want to double check and make sure you're not going to be where a pillar is going to fall. There's a whole bunch of other mechanics that happen in this fight, but hopefully the majority of the group knows how to handle them. So here's the first pillar. That looks like that's headed right for me. And as you can see, the lines that are designed to help you out come out too slowly to actually help you out. Okay, that's not bad. I think that's a lot better than most teams that we were with when we first came in here the first time. He's gonna build his tower now, I think. And the first set of sand spheres should come out fairly soon, I think. Yep, there they are. Alright, so gets a little complicated here with where the safe points are. You basically just have to keep reading what's actually happening on the field to understand what you need to do next. At this point, we want to take this tower out before his mana gets up to 100. There we go. Now he's going to do an ultimate. now he does 2 of those collapsing towers. Oh, he got me. Yeah, at that point, it's definitely best to save your limit breaks for when those guys pop up. Now he's bringing up more towers. All right, time for the big test here. We can survive this. And it looks like we did. All right. So players are definitely more familiar now with the mechanics. So now it's just a point of just getting through the rest of the Royal City. And down he goes. All right. Oh, I'll take that. Alright, let me equip that before we start up. There we go. Alright, so we got a treasure chest here, and that turns into some more enemies. Just some pretty standard trash here. They're not doing too much crazy here. Alright, looks like we got a drop here. Down we go, down we go. Oh, and I guess this is kind of a group puzzle or something here. Or not. Alright, we have arrived, and I guess we are waiting for this party over here to actually hit the controls. Whee! Alright, we have found some underground ruins. Alright, we got Rofocale here. Looks like he's got some wheels there, so that's probably going to be an element in this fight. They don't give you much time to get out of that one. Alright, so with that trample, he makes a figure 8. Alrighty, whoop. Alright, so they all come at the same time. It's nice that you can hide inside the 8. Alright, I need to go over here. Alright, that is pretty hard to avoid getting hit there. Because if you need to get out of the way of the enemy that you're trying to fight, then you're just going to get run over by the guy. This one is really taking a while to finish up. Alright, so whatever those things in the ground are, they basically hold you in place. What is this? It's like we're in total darkness here. Oh boy, he's really starting to move around a lot here with these AoEs. I guess we have to turn the dark circles there into something else. He's almost done for. And down he goes! On to the final boss. Is that white auracite?
Who dares disturb the slumber of Arda Thadalphos, rightful king of Ivalice? Descendants of House Beowulf? Then by my sword shall I banish your souls to the deepest hell.
Alrighty. Not sure what this is. So I guess when that face appears, I need to follow the command it gives. Impact point. Oh, what are these shades?
You are the blood to stain the circle. Does it grieve you to see the depths of your own weakness laid bare? Maggots!
Alright, so we gotta kill these shards.
You do not belong in my world. Step into nothing. I am the lies upon which you sup. has no place for such wretches. Your claim to life is forfeit.
What is this? Okay, so I got this arrow on me.
You are the blood to stain the circle.
And it looks like that is dictating wherever I am heading to. So, whenever I try to run, no matter what direction I push, it's doing that to me. Okay.
You will be judged.
Okay, I think I get it now. It looks like there are two faces that can appear. And so, depending upon which one shows up, that is what you actually need to do. Or, ignore, I guess. I didn't see the face this time. Okay. I think this is the one where I need to ignore it, so I'm just going to sit put. Yeah, I think I got that right, because the stacks did not increase this time. Alright, I am being controlled, and I gotta get myself over to this circle here. There we go. He is almost done for. Oh, here we go again.
Like sheep before the wolf. You are the blood to stain the circle.
And down he goes.
This body, it is not my own. Oh gods, what have I done? Save me, Ramza! Save me!
Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh, I'll take those, if I can. Oh, okay, so it only allows you to take one piece of gear per run. Okay. Alright, let's get out of here. Where am I? Father! Ramza, and the Warrior of Light. Yes, I know of you, but that you should come to my rescue. Words fail me. A poor playwright I must seem. Bonga! The term you're looking for is thank you, upon which note I, Bagamnan, bounty hunter, do humbly thank you, Warrior of Light, for delivering me this fine gift. Now hand over the aura sight, unless you wish to see the desert sands turn red. And be quick, Gejuk here does not have the steadiest of hands. That one. She will bring it to me. Yes, this is it. The Duma. And to think we found it so close to Doma. The Duma of Doma. Wahahaha! Enough. Wagi. We would not have our guests think us underbred. You have what you want, you thieving lizards. Now unhand him. Of course, a Bonga is always true to his word. I will be keeping this, though. Father! You've only yourselves to blame for this, but if you mislike the thought, you could always blame the gods. Not that they are listening. Get up, fool. We're leaving. And off they go. You're going to be all right. We cannot see to your father's hurts here. Come on, we must get him back to the Prima Vista. Genomus remains deep in slumber, but his breathing is steady and his fever has subsided. For now, all we can do is wait. I've sent word to Cid. I hope you don't mind. Alma, Ramza, can you ever forgive me? And you, Cid, it was never my intention to put you to such trouble. I am ever in your debt. You would have done the same for me, Genomus. Besides, it was Prince here who went to all the trouble. If anyone deserves your thanks, it's him. He is right. I have done naught to deserve your kindness, yet I am in its beneficiary nonetheless. So if I understand correctly, you're saying Oversight does not work to facilitate the possession of a living host by an icon, as was assumed to be the case with Yazael and the Archbishop, but rather absorb the host's ether, its very soul, and somehow transforms it before returning it to the host's body. If that is the case, our Sharlayan allies will need to be informed immediately. But I suppose the real question here is, did you find what you came looking for? The legend would have us believe that Delita Hyrule, the commoner who would be king, was the sole hero of the Zodiac Brave story. But as I have discovered, there was another, two others in fact. Siblings whose roles faded from subsequent retellings of the story. A brother and sister by the names of Ramza and Alma. Then, to prepare for this assignment, I pored over every published work of Ivalician legend I could lay my hands on, and nowhere did I find any mention of these siblings. But I did. I uncovered irrefutable evidence that Delita had a close companion named Ramza, who aided him in his rise to power. This in turn led me to Alma, and that I might never lose sight of the truth, I named my own children over these lost players. I'm sorry I never told you any of this, Cid, but you must believe me. Ivalice has never been a mere pastime of mine. It is, and forever will, be my calling, my purpose. My family's purpose. Go on. The world knows me as Genomus, Sen Lexentail. Yet that is but my stage name. My true name is Arazlam Durai. Countless generations past, it was my ancestor who penned the Durai papers, an account of Ivalice and the War of the Lions, that detailed what truly occurred during that turbulent era. You are tired, Father. Rest, I will continue. Long ago, an orphan by the name of Oran Durai crossed paths with both Ramza and Delita. After Delita's rise to power, Oran found himself in the service of the pauper become king. Following the War of the Lions, Oran believed the people of Ivalice had a right to know the truth of Ramza's involvement, and set about documenting his deeds. When the church learned of his intent, however, they branded him a heretic and had him burned at the stake. The Durai papers were never published, and any existing copies were gathered and sealed away in church vaults, the truth about Ivalice along with them. What was so damning that it would drive the church to do such a thing? The answer to that question can be found in this book, the only surviving transcript of my ancestors' chronicle, copied from an early draft and passed down for untold generations. With this, my father and I plan to reveal the truth and restore honor to my family name. Forbidden Chronicles, a secret family legacy. Not that I doubt you, Genomus, but how do you expect to convince people of all this when, well nigh, every soul in the realm believes Ivalice to be nothing but a bedtime story? By proving that it is anything but. And when people see that Ivalice was real, the rest will fall into place. Were it as simple as bringing forth the chronicle and submitting it for review, we would of course have done so long ago. But alas, it is not. The Durai papers, you see, are written in High Ivalician, an ancient tongue long extinct. My father, his father, and his father before him labored tirelessly to decipher this tome, but for want of other sources made only fitful progress. A word here, a phrase there. It wasn't until a recent expedition to Rabanastre turned up several well-preserved artifacts that we were able to translate a small portion of the papers. Then the diary stolen by the Banga bounty hunters. I'm afraid so. Everything we had learned of the language was contained in those pages. Then we're back to where we started. Not necessarily. We still have the transcript, as well as a few translated passages, and of course my father's impeccable memory. I have come too far to allow so simple a setback to deter me from my purpose. I will show the world the truth if it is the last thing I do. It is as Master Garland said. He is a man obsessed, and I fear Ivalice's grip on him will only grow tighter. Father was fortunate to escape Rabanastre with his life, and already he speaks of continuing his quest. Promise me you'll keep him safe, please. Alright, so once this is all done with, of course, I'm sure the Warrior of Light will want to take some of that Auracite for himself, so that we can capture some Ascians inside of that, and take them out as well. But anyway, let's go ahead and turn in the quest. After what I've seen here, I'm all but convinced that Ivalice exists, at least in some form. The problem will be gathering sufficient evidence to convince the thousands of scholars and historians who have based their careers on the presumption that it doesn't. Not that I've ever been one to shy from the challenge, especially when it means the story of the century. If you're in, Prince, then I'm in. If you're not in, well, I'm still in. Either way, you'll be hearing from me again soon. That much I promise you. Alright, and so with that, we have completed the Royal City of Rabanastre, as well as the Deltascape V4.0. And with that, we are now prepared for patch 4.2, once the Sigmascape comes out, as well as the new story content, and when Eureka releases. Eureka, though, is not going to be coming until patch 4.25, so that'll be something also to look forward to in the near future. A bit of a shorter stream today, but as I mentioned on a previous channel update, that was something I was looking to start exploring, just so I could put out more content in the future here. So, stand by for another channel update coming out fairly soon. I'm not sure when I'm going to put it up. Could be tomorrow, could be later in the week. I'm kind of watching a couple of things related to the whole situation related to what just happened with YouTube and monetization, all that sort of stuff. Still trying to figure out what my own feelings about that whole thing are, but those will be covered in the channel update. But I do also have a new Phantasy Star Online 2 on the way as well. But until then, this is PrinceBrightstar signing off. I'll catch you next time.